Hello and welcome to another video from the TheSavageTrout on YouTube, and it is episode 3 of my F1 2014 career mode with Ferrari on Legendary AI. Was 25% races live commentary, and we're starting 6th here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Very close qualifying. Nico Rosberg nicked pole position right at the end. We did originally have pole after, well, our best lap was actually our first lap of the whole qualifying session. We just couldn't touch it after that at 33.8. But Rosberg and everyone else just came in quite late on, which knocked us down, and we just couldn't go quicker. There really wasn't much in it, as you can see. Alonso less than a tenth quicker than me there, or just over it by the looks of it. Not much to separate the front 5 or 6. I did slightly cock up with the pit stop strategy here, because I assumed that the online thing where Parc Fermé's turned on, I assumed that you could start on whatever tyres you want, even though obviously in real life you can't when you qualify in the top 10, but I thought they'd Codemasters has messed that up, but obviously they haven't online, or people in my online lobbies didn't turn Parc Fermé on or something, which has basically meant that I'm going to be on quite short tyres at the start of this race, which is probably going to make life a bit more difficult than it should be, because my pace around here has been pretty good, well, compared to the first 2 tracks this season anyway. I mean, they had a practice race 25% in Kimi Raikkonen's car, which is obviously slightly better than this car because that's got all the upgrades and it's a full car, whilst this is kind of a developing car, I guess you could call it. But I did manage to win that race, and I also set the fastest lap. And I was pretty much on pace with the Mercedes, and at stages beating them. But let's see how bad these tyres are. Not great by the looks of it. Luckily I'm on a pad, so the tyre wear won't be too bad. But anyway, I'm ready to go here. 5 lights are up, and they're out now. And Alonso, my teammate's got a poor start, I think. Yes, he has. Ricciardo's got an absolute stormer of a start. We did get into the lead from 6th place with the Raikkonen race, so I might be able to do it again here if I spot the gaps. I've gone straight into the back of Ricciardo, though. We're going to try and force our way up the inside of a couple here. Oh, Hamilton went quite wide there, but looks like, and we're going to gobble him up, and we're up to 2nd, much like we were around Malaysia, not quite doing enough to challenge for the lead, as we went a bit wide there. Hulkenberg's up to 3rd. He can, oh well, he was for a moment anyway. Continuing his good start to the season, though, Hulkenberg. You may be seeing me getting a bit of wheel spin through certain corners. It just seems to be a trait around here for me. Possibly the setup as well, which I've started to find better setups now, so I think my pace is going to be a bit better in this, even though I'm still doing live commentary. I am definitely thinking of kind of switching to like 50 or 100% races, and kind of editing everything together and then kind of commentating after the races, which is what a lot of people do now. But I mean, I just have to get the editing software first, because I haven't had decent editing software since I got rid of my Roxio capture card, which had kind of ingrained editing software that was actually pretty good. But I'm probably going to have to get like a Sony Vegas or something for my birthday this time around. We're going to actually put up to Rich here. Rosberg's pulling away. It's going to be difficult to really reel him back in, I think. Bit of oversteer through there, but yeah, this car just doesn't feel as nice to drive as it does on Grand Prix mode, and they also seem to be quicker on career mode as well on Legendary, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation. I am kind of enjoying Grand Prix mode a bit more recently, as yeah, that was pretty poor from me. I don't really know what I'm doing there either. This is getting a bit frustrating now. These are just the mistakes I'm making though in career mode. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's me talking or just the car, but the mistake seems to just be bigger. Got to watch out for the curbs as well. gone a bit quiet here, but I am just trying to focus a bit more. Tyres, I think they're going to struggle to even reach 6 laps here. But I guess we'll see. Seem to have put away from 4th place a bit. I'm not sure if that's because Hulkenberg's still there or not. Probably is actually. Rosberg is opening up the gap. Actually, looks like they're going almost 3 wide behind there, and it looks like Alonso's made the pass as well for 4th. Real struggle. To be fair, I wouldn't mind Rosberg winning this race if you're looking at the championship battle, because I mean, he has the one that's been struggling at the start of the season here. But look at these tyres, man. It's going to be difficult on lap 5 and 6, I think. Even though the pad isn't really too bad when you get to the tyre wear stages. But at least it's not how it was in the last race where we were just getting... Well, we were basically just holding everyone up. This is... We're holding Hamilton up maybe, and maybe our teammate's going to join us soon. But apart from that, it looks like Hulkenberg's kind of taken my place. If we can hold on to 2nd, that'd be a good result. I just want a podium really, but it looks like it's going to be difficult to hold off our old foes from last season, Hamilton and Alonso. Fastest up there for me, but yeah, look at these tyres, man. Hamilton is probably going to go for it up the inside here. He won't be bold enough though. He's probably going to have to make it on the straight if he wants to pass, or I'm going to have to make a mistake, which could probably happen. I think Vettel or Ricciardo have got throw on Hulkenberg now. That could add an extra problem later on for the race. Hamilton is really getting close now. This tyre wear is affecting me pretty badly now. I think it's destroyed any chance I had of the win here. Along with my poor lap 2, which cost me pretty badly to Rosberg. I can see Alonso probably catching up to me and Hamilton by the end of the stint, possibly even the other car behind because of the tyre wear here. It does seem like there's a bit of a train forming behind. I think Hulkenberg is now in 6th place, so maybe the Force India's pace slightly tailing off a bit in this race. Very tempting to come in a lap early here as well, because, well, possibly I might lose out on the pit stops if I get a bad pit stop, and the tyres aren't looking great, and the prime tyres do just seem to last for an eternity on this game compared to the options. I find the primes a lot of the time can go over their scheduled kind of stop time. I certainly had to go on the defensive a bit more than I would have liked though in this race. I think we are going to pit this lap. I can't go another lap on these tyres, well, another lap and a half on these tyres really. Already sliding a bit, to be honest. Alonso's starting to catch up. I'm pretty sure that is a Red Bull in the background there. Rosberg every sector just taken little by little out of me. And it looks like Alonso's finally caught up. If Rosberg could have some kind of mechanical failure, that'd be quite nice, but doesn't look like he will do. Alonso looks like he's getting close to a Hamilton there, and it's whoever Hulkenberg must be holding them up pretty bad back there, because look how much the gap it is now. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Looks like Alonso's tried to go around the outside of Hamilton and it hasn't worked, but this is pretty much where my pace has been all weekend, really. Just kind of not quite quick enough for the Mercedes, which has been evident in this race by the way that Rosberg's kind of slowly but surely pulling away from me and Hamilton's keeping up with me, and then kind of battling with Alonso and Vettel. I think once we get onto these fresh tyres, we're going to be able to battle with and keep pace with my teammate and the Red Bulls, at least for the first half of the stint when the tyres are decent. Just coming to the pits now. This should also help Alonso as well quite nicely. As we come out of the pits now, I'm hoping that we don't filter out into traffic, but I think we probably will do pretty badly. If we can just get into this gap here, which we're not going to do, it looks like we're going to come out in about 17ths, maybe, no 16ths. We need to get ahead of Maldonado. That's quite crucial by the looks of it, and we have done. So that's not a bad place to come out in. It just depends how much we catch up these cars on this lap, and if Maldonado tries to Gutierrez us. There he is. So I'll come out in a pretty decent place, so we're just going to have to hope that, well, I doubt Hamilton is going to hold up the other two, but maybe Alonso and whoever the Red Bull is maybe trip over each other a bit so he can open up a gap to them. Or, God forbid, Rosberg makes a mistake. I do think, looking at this pace, though, I will be able to win a race. I mean, Sochi is definitely a race I'm planning on winning, that's for sure. I mean, I did a pretty exciting Grand Prix mode race, 50% race around there yesterday. Unbelievable race, really. I mean, me and Hamilton just going hammer and tongs at it. He managed to open up about a 3-second gap in the end for the lead. Everyone else is pretty much getting blown away, including Rosberg. And then on lap 20 of 27, I think it is, around Sochi, I flip in, or sorry, Hamilton just completely conked out. His car failed on him, and I took the lead. And then Maldonado, who's right behind us, actually had probably one of the weirdest crashes I've ever seen, where his car just went directly right for no reason. Bit bizarre, really. Just come across the line, start lap 7 now. There's Alonso, and I think Hamilton's ahead of him, so they're going to retain second place here. I'm also assuming now that means that Rosberg stayed out a lap longer, so he might be able to benefit from that. Looks like we have opened up a bit of a gap to Hamilton as well. And it looks like the Red Bull has lost. Actually, no, it's not. Actually, no, our teammates lost out a bit by the looks of it. Definitely lost a lot of time to Hamilton. And he's also got to navigate Maldonado. Not the greatest line through there at all. Which has allowed Hamilton almost onto the back of us again. Hamilton's going to be hard to hold off, I think. Only on +1 now. I'm sorry I keep flipping pressing B, but I've just started realising that I'm doing it quite frequently. Gutierrez in 6. I don't think we're going to catch him up though before he pits. Alonso looks like he's catching up Maldonado, though. That could be fun for him. Rosberg is, well, probably not coming out of the pits now, but he's probably at least in the pits now. This has been a relatively solid lap, minus that mistake in the second sector, which is going to give us our fastest lap of the race. Is that Bottas coming out of the pits there? Or is it Rosberg? It can't. No, there's Rosberg. He's miles ahead. I think he might have actually extended his lead somehow. Looks like Bottas might have jumped up to 4th, though. I guess we'll find out, especially if Hamilton goes to the pass now. But it looked like, well, someone definitely came out of the pits ahead of Alonso there, and I'm pretty sure it was Bottas. So if Bottas has managed to do that, it's a pretty good job by him. As the field is really spread out now. It's up to 10.5 to Rosberg now. It seems like he's just pretty much dominating this race completely. Whilst, well, lower than 5th place, miles behind. And I mean, Bottas and Alonso aren't exactly anywhere near me and Hamilton. So I think this has been a decent job by me in this well, this weekend so far. Currently in 2nd place. I'd say I'm probably best of the rest in terms of pace. I don't think I've really lucked my way into 2nd, looking at how it is at the moment. And And we've actually caught Rosberg a bit there. This has been quite a smooth lap for me, even though Hamilton is still sticking to my rear, but I've got a feeling he's probably about to stick in the fastest lap, and my quick pace and the tow is probably going to help him with that. I might get it for a second, but then he'll completely blast me out of the water. We haven't got it. We are reeling in Rosberg a bit there, though. I don't know if that's just because of cold tyres or not, though. Took about 7/10 out of him on that lap. Hamilton surely set the fastest lap there. It's Ricciardo that's in 4th, not Bottas, although it looks like Alonso's just passed him down the DRS straight. So Alonso back up to 4th now, which is good for the constructors, considering Mercedes are in a 1 and 3 position once again here. It's going to be crucial that we're actually out-racing our teammate here again, because we're losing the qualifying teammate battle pretty horrendously, 3-0. But it looks like we might be able to take the fastest lap honours and also the finishing positions on it and a podium to make it 1-1 in that category. So it's been quite successful so far, although Alonso does look like he's picking up the pace a bit now that he's been freed from Ricciardo. Yeah, I just seem to just be enjoying this game a bit more. I think TRL Limitless's setups have helped me with that a bit, as we're still reeling in Nico Rosberg here. I don't really know what's going on with his pace, but we're bringing down the gap again. It's a bit frustrating looking at this, really. If we've been able to keep up with him in the first stint, who knows what could have happened. There we go, we're matching race pace, and I think we're going to set another new personal best here. Maybe, yes we are, or not. Just slower. We've gained on Rosberg again though, 2/10. Don't know if he's nursing an issue or something. I doubt it. I think it's just our raw pace. Alonso's not really catching us at all. Hamilton is still all over our rear end. I can't do anything to shake him. To be honest, I think he'll probably be in the 34. Well, he'd probably be doing fastest laps pretty easily here if he was. Oh dear, bit of a moment there. We're doing 34.5s in Grand Prix mode, which I guess kind of tells us the kind of pace difference, although I was on options then, so we're not doing too bad at all here. And we need it considering we've got China coming up, which is not a good race for me at all. Tyres aren't looking too bad either. Hamilton's looking closer than ever here, actually. He might go for a DRS move, potentially. But this race is actually setting up a championship battle pretty nicely. Rosberg's going to get back in the fray, and we're beating our nearest 2 championship rivals. I'm not sure what's happened to Vettel, as now the pace has kind of stagnated a bit, where it's just keeping at 9 seconds between me and Rosberg. Hamilton's just kind of keeping his distance still. And we're still on +1 lap of fuel, which is a positive for us, I guess, as we hit another 35 there. Again, a tenth on Rosberg, who, for whatever reason, just seems very slow in this stint. Hamilton having a look up the inside here, and he's actually looking like he might go for it. We've had to go a bit defensive, which has put us wide. And we've just about held on to the place, but Hamilton's getting closer and closer. That's probably lost us a bit of time to Rosberg, and all that time we gained, he's probably got up to about 9.5 again. If he hasn't, then maybe he does have an issue. No, back up to 9.7, so that's a bit frustrating, but that's the way it goes, I guess. Just had to go a bit defensive. I wasn't sure if he was actually going to really come out the inside, considering it is the AI, but you never know with them. Looks like Alonso's caught up a bit. Might just be because I was battling with Hamilton a bit more, and that's not going to help our case either. Hamilton's going to be almost side by side with us now, I'd think. Oh well, Hamilton's running on full revs. No wonder he's getting closer to us here. He wants to make the move. And I think we are going to be defending pretty hard towards the end of this race. And Rosberg started to pull away a bit again. And yeah, my pace just seems to be deteriorating a bit now. I don't know if it's just because of this poor lap due to kind of my early defensive duties, but Alonso does seem to have pulled away a bit from Ricciardo, so maybe it's not too surprising that he's catching. 10.3 to Rosberg now. The gap that we kind of starting to catch has gone completely down the toilet. This time Hamilton doesn't really change down the inside at all, as we slightly corner cut there. I need to stop doing that, but still an optimal. Might have to go to standard next lap. Hasn't been the most enthralling race. I just don't seem to be able to... I seem to just always get myself into a position where I'm having to defend, really. I'm never really challenging people. Maybe that's just because of the start. But anyway, I think we're going to take the advice of the engineer there, as we've run a bit wide, and we're going to do it right now. Hopefully we can defend down the straight. There's our tyres, not looking too bad at all. Rears look a bit worn, but it's not too bad, to be honest. Or it could be much worse, to be fair. As Rosberg opens up his advantage a bit more, so he seems to have just found a bit of pace, even though I'm starting to lose a bit of pace by the looks of it. Hamilton's probably going to have a look down here, but you just know he's not going to be able to make the move. As Rosberg reopening up the advantage now. Alonso's getting closer and closer, but still not inside of DRS yet. Bit of a slide through there again. And actually it looks like Hamilton may have lost a bit of time. If we can maybe back Hamilton up a bit into Alonso, we might be able to get a double podium for Ferrari here, which admittedly might screw me over in the championship, or not the championship, the teammate battle a bit. Well, probably the championship battle as well, but would certainly do quite good for the team. Bit of wheel spin out of there, and Alonso is well and truly onto the back of us two now, which is probably due to my lack of pace, but I don't know what's happened to Ricciardo's pace, or lack of it, but he's nowhere near us. So Alonso does just seem to be the main man behind the Mercedes on this career mode, minus when Hulkenberg just decides he's going to turn into a beast. But or the Hulk, I guess. That was pretty bad, but some people do always bring it up, as Rosberg is really hitting pace now. I do wonder if Alonso might be able to make a move on Hamilton here now. I think the fact that we maybe pit a lap earlier than we should have has kind of brought Alonso back into play now. And it's now 12.7. Hamilton's looking closer and closer. We're going to have to defend to the inside here. Hamilton trying to look round the outside. We've gone defensive, and we've held on to the place for the moment anyway. Alonso is right there as well. This is going to be a fight to the finish by the looks of it. Alonso, he's got a slipstream on Hamilton. Going to have to be careful with slightly more worn tyres now, that we don't go and throw away this podium. Especially by going wide like that, we're just getting a bit rash now on the throttle, and well, just start driving overall, really. Looks like Rosberg's coming up to a back marker. Surely he won't crash into it. That would be dramatic. Oh man, getting on the curb there. I was going to say about the curbs and that I haven't really had any problems with them in this race, but then I kind of thought I'd better not say that. Especially if that one had just threw me off. But looks like we're going to come home how we are, unless I do get auto-spun by this curb, which I haven't, because I haven't even gone anywhere near it. Hamilton's got a much better run, as you would expect, with the traction that he has. Nico Rosberg wins the race, dominant victory, really. I mean, I just couldn't stop him from the start, to be honest. Pole to flag victory for him, and it is his first victory of the season. As we cross the line for our first podium of the season, it's second place. Great job by me. I think that's by far my best drive of this career mode so far. I did kind of expect it to be, considering the circumstances. I finally had the right setup for the right conditions, and I wasn't new to the game. But fastest laps, well, we're pretty much on pace with Alonso's fastest lap there. Quicker than most of the rest of the field. I mean, the Mercedes couldn't really get anywhere. Well, especially Rosberg. Look at Rosberg's time at the start. No wonder he's pulling away so quickly then. 15 seconds there. It's not too bad, considering the margins that we've had in the last few races, which have been over 30 seconds. So I really do think we can still win a race. China, don't know if we're going to be able to win around there, but you never know. Still fourth in the championship. Lewis Hamilton has quite a nice gap now, actually. We're still pretty close. I mean, Vettel, down to Vettel, they all have well, I'd say anyone still has a chance, but there's still potential to win this championship, considering my pace on this game at the start. 18 points behind the championship leader isn't too bad, I would say. The constructors, Ferrari 15 points behind, not really too surprising. It's going to be an interesting next race around China. So it's probably been my best race, but probably my most boring race. But anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.